Hey there, George September here for your very first lesson on how to play the guitar in one easy lesson. I'm going to be teaching you 12 different chords today, and it's going to be in 3 parts. So today I'll do part 1, and then you can follow along the other videos by just clicking part 2 and part 3 and so on. So what we'll do is we'll just cover something very basic that you need to know first before you learn any chords. Let's number the strings. The skinniest one is number 1, then number 2, then number 3, then number 4, then number 5, then number 6. When we refer to frets, we don't mean the actual metal line, we mean the box of. So this would be fret 1. Anything played in here would be fret 1. Anything played in here would be fret 2. And anything here would be called fret 3, and so on down the neck. We're going to number our fingers also. Our first finger is finger number 1. Finger number 2, your ring finger, which is number 3, and finger number 4. That being said, we're able now to teach you your very first chord. I'm going to start by teaching you a very easy chord. It's called an E minor. It's very, very popular. It's very warm and a little dark sounding, but it's quite beautiful. I'll play the chord once and I'll strum it just so you can hear. Now, very simply, using your second finger on the 5th string, this is the 5th string of the 2nd fret, using the fingertip, press the note down and it should be nice and clear. Using your ring finger right underneath, press the next note. By playing them together, you get an E minor. Now, our second chord from this position will be very, very easy. Don't move your hands, leave them where they are. You have finger number 1 available here, and what you want to do is put it on the 3rd string of the 1st fret. So it'll sound like this. Very popular, probably in the top 3 of chords if you're learning how to play guitar. This is a very important chord. So this is your E major chord. Now if you let go of the 1st finger, you see how that sounds different? It's a little darker, this is a little fuller. So that's your E major chord, and this is your E minor chord. Now I'm going to teach you how to play a D chord. A D chord sounds like this, and you don't strum all the strings from top to bottom. You just strum the last 4. Down here, of course. So this is pretty easy. Using your second finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, you play this note. Using your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, you play this note. And using your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, you press down over here. Again, you want to use the tips of your fingertips so that you can get that nice clear sound. And you can do fun things with this chord. You can, for example, let go of this, put it back, add your pinky, do a combination. Quite a bit of stuff you can do with the D chord. It'll probably be a little bit difficult if it's your first time doing it, but stick with it and remember, use the fingertips. You got to use the fingertips. You don't want it sounding like that because you're not pressing hard enough. You want to use your fingertips so you get that full sound. Now the next chord that I'm going to teach you is called the C. It's a little trickier, but you can get it. It took me a while to get it. When I remember learning my C chord many, many years ago, it took me a little while to get it down, but it's pretty simple. I'll just play it for you once, and then you'll know what's going on. So there's many things we can do here. I'll just play for you first. That's a C chord. If I take my pinky and add it to the 2nd string of the 3rd fret, I get a C7 chord. Just a little extra information there for you. But what we're interested in is the C chord. Now, taking your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, we play this note here. Taking your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, we get that note. And taking your 1st finger of the 1st fret of the 2nd string, we get this note here. It'll be a little bit uncomfortable to start with. It is for many people. You don't want that buzz, so you gotta really use your fingertips. And then if you play all the strings together, you get a C chord. Now there's a lot of things you can do. I've shown you how to play an E major chord, an E minor chord, a C, a D, sorry, and a C. There's a lot of things you can do. What I would recommend is just practice switching back and forth between the different chords. It doesn't really matter what you play. You can just kind of mix it up. You can go from a D chord. You know, you can do something like that, or you can do these are all chords I just showed you. So what you need to do is you need to buckle up and practice hard. You want to get your fingers really, really tight. You want to avoid that buzzing sound. You want them to be very, very clear. And just to remind you, this is your E major chord. This is your E minor chord. This is your C chord. And this is your D chord. There's 8 more chords to learn before you can play any song on the planet. Stay tuned and go to part 2 of my lessons, and then part 3 for the finale. By the way, if you liked the videos and you found them to be of value to you and you thought they were good, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really, really appreciate it. What goes around comes around, and the universe is quite abundant. So have yourselves a great day, and we'll be talking together soon. Bye-bye.